How's it going, everybody? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Friday, May 17th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moonbase. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. Happy Friday. It's good to be here with all of you. As usual, if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, like this video, share this video, say what's up. My reading sale is available, booking for June. The link to my booking website is in the description of this video, along with all of my social media platforms, where you can find me everywhere on the internet. So, well, on this Friday, the moon is going to oppose Saturn. So there's somewhat of a reality check as we move into the weekend, going towards this Jupiter-Uranus, or Sun-Jupiter conjunction, and Venus-Uranus conjunction. All happening at once as Mars prepares to conjunct the North Node. So, with Mars getting closer to the North Node here, we're getting a better sense of direction with where we are headed. And with the moon opposing Saturn today, there's a reality check. I think reality is starting to come into focus. Our trajectory of the path that we are identifying with and how we've transformed through this healing process with Chiron in the North Node, we're starting to really gain some confidence and some fire of where we're headed, right? So, today, looking at our environment, looking at the things that are, unclean, not been well kept, or things that you've just overlooked, I think today is a very good day to really assess those and take action on those things and really prepare for this new world that's starting to open up. I mean, the Sun and Jupiter are pretty much going to be at the same degrees, and this conjunction is going to be happening at 28 degrees, right? And Venus here is going to be, let me just move this one more hour, because then we'll pretty much be at these same degrees, right? So, yeah, with the moon opposing Saturn and Jupiter and the sun getting closer together, Venus, I mean, there is this moment of okay, I know exactly where I'm going. I know that all these new doors in my life are starting to open up, and it's connected to the divine path that we have been instinctually moving towards, and maybe through places or towards places that we haven't been clear about. Definitely with Mercury coming out of shadow, we've gained a lot of clarity about our identity, the path that we want to take, and what we don't want to take with us with the South Node here. And definitely those eclipses helped us clear that out. But today, Mercury is making a square to Pluto. Exactly. So the challenge is to really be able to hold your value when things get challenging, when things get difficult. There is this moment today of when this reality check kind of comes into focus. Conversations can get a little tense. And maybe where it's hey, don't you see the value of this idea? Or in another person where you are really excited about something, where there is value, or you think that something is valuable, and someone on the other end, or a friend, or some connection where you thought it was connected, the truth can kind of really bubble up to the surface of what that connection really was about, and that you don't really share the same values, that you're not really on the same path, right? Or when you're excited about something and the other party is disconnected and just not really, with you, and knowing the path that we are headed on. And we can't take everyone with us. We can't take everything with us. Definitely with all this Taurus energy, we can't just hold on to everything. And this Venus conjunct Uranus, that's going to happen with the Sun-Jupiter conjunction. It's massive shifts and exciting breakthroughs, and definitely new exciting partnerships and new financial opportunities that can really lead us to greater places of abundance, greater knowledge, greater expansion in our lives, greater security within our relationships, but also this can really shake up relationships and all of a sudden the value of what it once was has changed, or it's not the same, or new partnerships and new connections that, are connecting in a much stronger way that really kind of challenge things that you haven't been willing to let go of. And this moment, like stepping into the weekend, for sure, it's going to be like, I just have to go with this, and taking the risk and taking the gamble and trusting your instincts can really be a great benefit right now. And definitely, I think too, there might be some things that we really can't foresee. The way things are panning out right now at this moment, we can't really foresee why. But within the next few weeks, as we go, through these transits, we head into Gemini season, and Jupiter comes into Gemini, and the way things start to transpire there, we can see what these massive conjunctions kind of bring and shake up in our lives. They'll start to make sense as we start to move through these transits, and as Venus makes its path towards it conjuncting with Jupiter, and then it will have its cazimi with the sun, and then Mercury's going to catch up to Uranus, and then catch up with Venus, and then catch up with the sun, right? So all of these points are going to be triggered, and then we're going to really understand why these new things are showing up in our lives, why old things that weren't really working out are being kind of rattled and shaken up. And it's just events take place that really force you to make a change or make a difference, or let something go that you were holding on to. That is definitely the theme of all of these massive conjunctions. And you got to look at conjunctions like they're new moons, right? So this is a new phase, a new opening, new big massive doors opening, even if it's uncomfortable, even if this Venus-Uranus conjunction shakes up your relationships or your financial life or whatever in ways that are uncomfortable. It was for a bigger purpose. It's for a higher reason that we may not be able to see yet. And once Venus gets closer to Jupiter, we may be able to see why, right? So, and then when Mercury passes through here mentally, we'll be able to start to really understand it on a logical level. Not just on a physical level and we can see it. It's okay, in my mind, I understand why. Mercury wants to ask why. Jupiter also asks why. Mercury presents the facts. Jupiter gives us the truth, right? So we have 5 planets in Taurus still. This is the greatest manifestation energy I've ever seen in my entire life. This is leading us to a great place of abundance as long as we are willing to go along with this Uranian kind of shakeup. Because what's expanding in our lives is coming through an earthquake, a volcano, metaphorically speaking, or a tornado, or fucking some extreme event that you did not see coming that pushes you towards another direction, but also that direction was destined and fated in the first place with Mars getting ready to conjunct the North Node. Aries is, the direction we are moving forward, right? Mars is us actually taking action, and the North Node is the destiny towards the future, our destined future, our destined path. So all of this is happening all at once, and we're going to be really feeling it going into the weekend. That's when we're going to have this massive conjunction on Saturday. It's going to be amazing. It may be uncomfortable for some. Some people may thrive in this energy, but we can't take everything with us. And the reality check coming through here with the moon opposing Saturn, it's okay, whatever massive shakeups and transitions that we're being forced to take, that's going to take us to a greater expansion, we have to accept the reality of that. We have to keep our environment in a healthy space. Sometimes with Saturn and Pisces, things can get fucking messy. You can overlook things. Things pile up. Today's one of these days to really clean up, get things done, double check, revise things. Mercury is now in Taurus, so it's giving us the patience to kind of step back and look at our environment in a healthy way, right? In a more patient, objective way. Mercury in Aries isn't the most objective. Mercury in Taurus moves a little slower, thinks a little slower, but at least it thinks before it speaks, right? At least it takes its time to understand before it just fucking pops off, right? So, but the impulses that we are getting towards, like, I feel like I'm supposed to go towards this direction, make a change over here, go towards this person, towards this relationship, or towards this better version of myself. When those impulses hit, you just have to trust it and you have to move with it. And when you do, that's what's taking us towards our destiny with this North Node and towards a greater expansive future that can really innovate and change our lives in ways that we have always desired to be. But also, if you haven't been doing the work, well, I wouldn't even say that, because I know if we're here, we're putting in the work. We're putting in the effort each and every day, of gaining new conscious awareness on how to connect with our souls and be better human beings on this planet, and, connecting with people in a way that is unique, expressing our unique identity. And if we can do that, it's going to take us towards a collective. I had this thought yesterday that I was seeing some other astrologers on my Instagram who I love, who were talking about all this Taurus energy and Jupiter conjunction with Venus conjunct Uranus this weekend, and all the astrologers I admire were all basically saying the same thing, when we're talking about Uranus and Aquarius, we're talking about humanity, right? And when we're talking about Taurus and Venus, we're talking about manifestation of a physical reality, of abundance with Jupiter, right? And I'm just thinking, man, especially with Mercury and Taurus, this is very important to speak it, right? To speak what you want to create. Taurus and Scorpio, that axis of that polarity is all about creation, right? Reproduction. So what we want to create, what we want to manifest, we have to speak it. And I was thinking, seeing all of astrologers I admire, us discussing the same transits and coming to the same place, I'm like, man, with this Uranus energy, that's what it's all about, is humanity collectively coming together, sharing ideas, and in Taurus, being able to speak it with the throat. Taurus rules the throat. And I just realized, I'm like, wow, we're all talking about the same things, and that we're moving towards this better place of abundance and being able to have the doors opening where we can actually manifest the future that we want. I'm like, we're all talking about the same things, and the fact that we're all thinking and talking and speaking these similar ideas, that just gives it so much more power on a collective level of, giving us the support, which is what Jupiter's doing, to really make big changes in our reality as a collective identity, the collective identity. And I was like, wow, I haven't really thought of it that way. But I thought that was really amazing, is that, okay, we're all speaking, chanting, thinking the same, similar ideas about, okay, this is what I want for my future. Especially on a level of material abundance. That's what this is about. And what material abundance is going to come into our lives that's going to bring more security in our lives, right? And help us feel more secure and solid, to give us a better foundation, And that's what Taurus is all about. So I thought it was really, really cool to think of how we are all kind of thinking in the same direction with these amazing transits. And going through the weekend, we're really going to feel it. So just keep that mindset towards that, positive frequency of being able to manifest your life in the most abundant way. And wherever it's happening in your chart and whatever's happening in your life, it's different for everyone, but as a whole, that's where we're headed, and the new ideas and the new downloads that are coming through, can really make a massive impact on humanity. I guarantee, going through these transits over the next few years, every time these aspects get triggered, by Taurus planets or Scorpio planets or even Leo or Aquarius transits, all the fixed signs. Every time this area gets aspected, we're going to see something connected to some new innovation or some new technology or some new idea that's going to impact and affect humanity, but in a positive way and definitely unexpected. So, and I got the Eight of Swords. So, we don't want to feel trapped. We want to stay in that positive framework. And with this Mercury squaring Pluto, exactly, there is this underlying tension on a psychological level where it's like, damn, it's pretty clear in the areas in our lives and the relationships in our lives where our values not being acknowledged, or in relationships where values have changed over time, where it's like just accepting that reality, with the moon opposing Saturn too, accepting the harsh things within our reality, and being honest and truthful about that. And definitely with Jupiter as well, Jupiter rules truth. So it's like staying in that honest, truthful place can help us get to a more expansive, abundant life and not being trapped by, the feelings of insecurity or discomfort or, not being open to change. Or definitely maybe secrets coming out. Mercury square Pluto, that's how I feel. Like more hidden things are going to be revealed over these next few days through the weekend as we're going through some of the best transits of our fucking life. So you can guarantee too, as we're moving through this Venus conjunct Uranus, Sun conjunct Jupiter, that at the same time, on the other end of that, there's definitely going to be some fucking deep psychological shit that we're going to be experiencing too. And some things that were suppressed or hidden, emotions that were suppressed or feelings, or even just literally in the world. Secrets coming out, being revealed. But it's all for the better and the higher good. That's going to lead us to a more expansive place and a more truthful trajectory towards our destiny, especially with Mars getting ready to conjunct the North Node. And we're going to be launching going into next week as we go through the weekend, because the weekend is where all these transits are hitting. So as we go through the weekend, go into next week, it's like our timeline, our frequency, our reality is going to take a whole different direction as we move into next week. You can count on that. So hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Can't wait to see how this weekend really shapes up for everybody and for the world and for humanity, because this is the moment where things really start to take a positive shift. So I will see you all for the weekend. Have a wonderful Friday. Peace.